I think you'd be more intellectually honest if you just come out and say, I'm on the side of the bad guys here. Were you there when you guys issued all those bad warrants against Trump's people?
I can't discuss my work on the court, unfortunately.
Oh, it's top secret, right? You'd have to put me on the American people on double secret probation if you told them the truth, wouldn't you? You're trying to love this to death, aren't you?
I disagree.
You're not really for giving law enforcement the power to fight back, are you?
I am in favor of giving law enforcement that power and respecting constitutional limits.
I don't believe you, Professor. Okay? You're not talking to Bambi's baby brother here. Okay? I've read some of your stuff. I think you'd be more intellectually honest if you just come out and say, I'm on the side of the bad guys here. I think we shouldn't give state and local law enforcement the authority to fight back. You're trying to make it as hard as possible, aren't you?
We'll have to disagree on that point, Senator.
Nah.
You are not talking to Bambi's baby brother here. Senator Kennedy looked a so-called legal expert dead in the eye and said what every real American was thinking. She sat there hiding behind constitutional conditions, burying law enforcement in red tape, and Kennedy called it exactly what it was: loving a bill to death. Stick around, because this exchange exposes everything wrong with the academic left and their war on common sense.
The bad guys are using drones. Does anybody disagree with that? Okay. And the federal government has the authority to fight back, does it not? But nobody disagrees with that statement? Sure, Professor.
I would say within limits, yes. Within constitutional limits.
Okay. Do any of you disagree with giving state and local law enforcement the authority to fight back?
Again, within constitutional limits.
Okay. Tell me what your constitutional concerns are, Professor.
So I have three primary concerns. The first has to do with the Fourth Amendment and the conditions under which a warrant is required and a general warrant is forbidden by the Fourth Amendment. So in this particular case, it's important.
Professor, before you give me one of your lectures, are you saying that we should require state and local law enforcement to get a warrant before they fight back?
It depends on the condition. So in an exigent circumstance or something along the border.
I'm aware of the exceptions to the warrant requirement. But you, generally speaking, you want to require them to get a warrant.
Only for the search of a device or the seizure of property. There are also due process implications of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You started to mention another one of your objections.
First Amendment.
First Amendment. Okay. Any others?
Yeah, I also have a state rights, a 10th Amendment concern here, which is that states own the airspace adjacent to the land within their state that's not federally owned, and the current federal provisions don't recognize state sovereignty in that way.
So you want to give state and local law enforcement the authority to fight back, but you want to list a whole lot of conditions. Is that a fair assessment?
Not a whole lot, but some. There needs to be a nexus to the facility. It can't be any drone anywhere in America if you're concerned about a particular facility, but right now it's too broad. There have to be acknowledgments of First Amendment concerns. So for instance, limiting the covered facilities to the experience and logic test with which the courts use for right of public access, or prohibiting media bans across the board, or setting a time limit before and after special events so they don't extend extensively. This is what a number of state measures already do, and I'd like to see that at a federal level and apply to bring this within the constitutional limits.
Sounds like a lot of conditions to me.
No, not very many. As long as there's probable cause and the conditions are met, then absolutely you can.
Have you ever heard of a legislative practice called loving a bill to death?
Yes.
Okay. And that's when you take a bill and somebody says, I'm really for this bill. But then they add so many amendments and they screw it up so badly that the bill either becomes ineffective or doesn't pass. Is that a pretty accurate description?
Of the term?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're trying to love this to death, aren't you?
I disagree.
You're not really for giving law enforcement the power to fight back, are you?
I am in favor of giving law enforcement that power and respecting constitutional limits.
I don't believe you, Professor. Okay? You're not talking to Bambi's baby brother here. Okay? I've read some of your stuff. I think you'd be more intellectually honest if you just come out and say, I'm on the side of the bad guys here. I think we shouldn't give state and local law enforcement the authority to fight back. You're trying to make it as hard as possible, aren't you?
We'll have to disagree on that point, Senator.
Nah. You ever heard the expression, watch what they do, not what they say? I've watched what you've done. I know what you believe. You're on the FISA court?
I'm not on the court. No, I'm an amicus for the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court and the Court of Review.
Okay. Were you there when you guys issued all those bad warrants against Trump's people?
I can't discuss my work on the court, unfortunately.
Oh, it's top secret, right? You'd have to put me on the American people on double secret probation if you told them the truth, wouldn't you?
No. I can't discuss my matters that I've handled before the court. I can discuss the public ones where I've dealt with First Amendment concerns and the right to petition. I did an extensive history looking at that right
I'm done,
to petition.
Madam Chair.
Senator John Kennedy just delivered one of the most unfiltered moments we have seen in a Senate hearing in years. And if you think Washington elites are on your side, this clip is going to make you think twice. Here is the setup. A law professor, an amicus for the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, no less, sits before the Senate and gets asked one simple question. Should state and local law enforcement have the authority to fight back against drone threats? And instead of a yes or no, she unloads a lecture. Fourth Amendment concerns, First Amendment concerns, 10th Amendment concerns, nexus requirements, time limits, probable cause conditions, on and on and on. Kennedy let her talk. Then he dropped the hammer. He asked her point blank, "Have you ever heard of loving a bill to death?" She admitted she had. And then Kennedy said what everyone watching already knew. "You are trying to love this to death, aren't you?" She denied it. She kept saying she was in favor of giving law enforcement the power to fight back. Within limits, of course. Always within limits. Always another condition. Always one more exception. Kennedy didn't buy a single word of it. He told her straight, "I don't believe you, Professor." And he meant it. Because this is the oldest trick in the establishment playbook. You say you support something. You say you back law enforcement. You wave the flag and you talk about constitutional principles. But then you stack so many amendments, so many requirements, so many legal hurdles onto a bill that it either collapses under its own weight or becomes so neutered it does nothing. And Kennedy caught it. He named it. He exposed it. Then it got even better. He asked her about the FISA court and whether she was around when bad warrants were issued against President Trump's people. Her answer? "I can't discuss my work on the court. It's classified." Kennedy fired back without missing a beat. Double secret probation. That is a senator who is not there to play games. He is not there to make friends with the academic establishment. He is there to fight for the American people. What this hearing showed is the exact divide that defines our political moment. On one side, you have credentialed elites who wrap their opposition in legal language so refined, so layered, that it sounds almost reasonable until you realize nothing ever gets done. On the other side, you have leaders like Kennedy who see through the performance and demand real answers. Drones are a real threat. Bad guys are using them. Law enforcement needs the tools to respond. It should not take a 3-day law school seminar to agree on that. But apparently, for some people, it does. Kennedy refused to accept the runaround. He refused to let vague answers slide. And in doing so, he gave the American people something they do not get nearly enough from Washington: clarity. If you love this country, if you believe in law enforcement, if you are tired of experts who complicate every solution until it disappears, this video is for you. And Kennedy's final point says it all. When someone keeps saying yes, but over and over and over, eventually that yes stops meaning anything. Hit that like button if Kennedy said what you were thinking. Share this video because the mainstream media will never cover moments like this the way they deserve. Subscribe so you never miss when the real ones in Washington stand up and fight. And drop a comment below. What was the most shocking moment for you in this exchange? Let me know.